Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 3, Episode 52, DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced available. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Christmas is right around the corner. Today's the 16th, and by my calendar, that's 9 days. So you better do your Christmas shopping. Got a lot in store tonight. I want to talk about. Got a great list from Sally French of 18 drone gifts you can get. So we're gonna go over that. Of course, the big topic tonight, we're gonna talk about the Mavic 2 Advanced, Enterprise Advanced, and what all entails with that. So that'll be good. Also, got some news, got some updates. Someone is leaving DJI that I know that actually has been on the show. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And just want to give you some news and everything. Well, first of all, we're going to go over some like news, updates, channel news, that kind of stuff. Let's see who's here. DeMarco's here. Matt Cundiff, Ted Bowman, John Olson, Johnny Drone Flyer, Stephen Ewing. Welcome, my friend. Let's see here. Who else? Ridge Flyer 32. Mid Valley Drones. How are you, Stephen? Good to see you. Art is in the house. Art, thank you so much for showing up. Sam Burns is here. Let's see who else we got here. Wow, we got a lot of people here tonight. Drone Shots is here. All right. Patrick Hubert, it's 20 degrees in Wisconsin. Well, we had actually a pretty good day here today. It was like about 72 here, so I really can't complain, especially being in December, okay? I think you guys know that. So, yeah, like I said, we got a good show lined up here tonight. Got a lot to talk about here. The next 2 weeks, I want to make sure everybody knows they're going to be rebroadcast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them up as premieres, and that way it will give you a chance to chat and to be interactive in the chat that way. Got one coming up. We're going to have great show we had earlier this year with Kelly in it and Kelly Shores. It was just a great show. Always have a great time when Kelly's on here. So that was a good show. We're also going to have the last or one of these two, and I haven't decided what the order is going to be. We're also going to have the replay from Brendan Schulman, DJI Vice President of Policy and Legal Affairs, he and I spent some time talking about remote ID, and I'm going to get him back on the show when the decision has been made by the FAA regarding remote ID and what all is going to be involved with that, what all it's going to entail and everything. So, we got a lot going on with that. So, that's pretty much where this is at. And again, I apologize. We didn't do a Christmas giveaway this year. Unfortunately, finances weren't such to be able to fit that in this year. I'll try to get one maybe done in first quarter of next year. We'll have a giveaway. But Rick Smith's had one, and he's doing his giveaway. So, and it's always fun. And Rick's a great guy. So, okay, let's go on here with what else. Okay. Now, Sally has a great website, a blog page, and you guys need to get out there. If you want to get some excellent drone news every day, I highly recommend going out there. Sally does excellent work. I can't say that enough. I'll drop a link in the description so you guys can check it out there. She just does an absolute positively good job here. All right, we're going to get to this list. All right, I'm going to share this with you. It's actually really kind of neat, some of the stuff that she came up with as far as unique Christmas gifts. Now, you guys know, from everything that I've heard, shipping is you better get your list. You better get your shopping done now and your list going, because shipping, I've heard there's going to be a lot of delays because a lot more people are going to be shipping this year. So let's get to that here and let's go over some of these. Okay. Number 18 is a drone ugly Christmas sweater. Number 17, a drone pilot mug. Number 16, before you ask, and I always love these t-shirts because it says, number 1, it's a drone. Number 2, yes, it was expensive. Number 3, yes, it has a camera. Number 4, legally 400 feet high. Number 5, 25 minutes. Number 6, 35 plus miles an hour. Number 7, over a mile away. And number 8, no, you can't fly it. Okay, those are great. Those are great T-shirts. Filters, that's always a good gift. Best drone master in the galaxy. There's creative here. And speaking of that, there's looks like a mini Star Wars drone, X-Wing Starfighter. Loom Cube drone lighting kit. Okay, that's very interesting. And Avatrax is a female aviator. Okay, so if you know a special female in your life that flies drones, that would be an appropriate gift. Here's some books, and I've actually looked at this book on Amazon. It's very interesting. An Osmo Pocket, the original. Well, no, it looks like I don't know if she's that looks like the price of the new one, but retro vintage 70s drone quadcopter shirt. I've actually seen this before on Amazon. DJI Phantom quadcopter patent prints. It was patents that were on file with the United States Patent Office, which is real interesting. Or the original Phantom. So that's actually kind of interesting here. Good old-fashioned memory cards. Official Drone Girl merchandise. Well, of course. You know, what else would make your Christmas complete? Drone cookie cutters. Okay, that's pretty awesome here. A Tello. Okay, and for as much, you know, as this has been talked about in a bad light, you know, the Tello's for a very first drone for somebody, you can't beat it. Okay, and with the apps and the way things work with that now, it's pretty doggone good, and it gives you a real good sense of being able to how to fly a drone. All right, number 2, paper airplane necklace. All right, that's very interesting. And then number 1, a drone ornament. Now look at that. That is just a perfect drone ornament. I don't think it can get any better than that. It's sold on Etsy, and if you guys aren't familiar with Etsy, I got several gifts for some family members from Etsy this year, and you know, it's different people that make different things, and there's a lot of 3D printed things, and I don't know if this was 3D printed or not, but that looks rather interesting. So yeah, definitely check out that list. It could be something you might be able to get. Brian is here. TDR Drones, welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Glad to see you in the chat tonight. Okay, now that was real interesting. You know, I did find something else today out on Sally's out on Sally's blog, and it was someone who I've had on the show from DJI who is leaving DJI, and that is none other than Romeo Dersher. Romeo Dersher set to leave DJI after 6 years. Romeo is also good friends with Scott Parazynski, and I probably should. I think you all know who Scott is, NASA astronaut who, you know, with the joystick, and I'm sorry I even forget the name of the joystick, but anyway, Romeo's a great guy, and he's a great ambassador for drones. He has done so much. He's going to be taking some time off after he leaves DJI, but he has really been a great voice, especially regarding the DJI Enterprise drones, and in touting them for use with first responders and the like, and has been a real proponent of, you know, drones for good. So we here at Build a Drone Reviewer wish Romeo nothing but the best in whatever path he chooses as far as his career is concerned. You know, he has such a passion and a desire. It's great to see that. He's going to leave a big void, going to leave some huge shoes to fill. He really does. He gives all out in his job. He really is one of those that does a great job. So Romeo, we wish you nothing but the best from all of us here at Build a Drone Reviewer. We thank you for all you've done for the drone community, all the good you've done, and you really have done a lot of good. So so once again, you know, Romeo, thank you so much for what you've done. Thank you for being on the show before, and you know, we'll hopefully, you know, someone will fill your shoes and be able to continue the great work that you've done. So we're very thankful for that. That's just something that is really interesting. Now, I also came across another article here from Sally, and this is really interesting. I mean, it's something that's real surprising. 2019 DJI market share dropped for the first time ever. That is a real surprise. Well, remember, this is 2019 data, and I was gonna drop. Now I'm gonna read a part of this here to you. That's according to the Drone Analyst 2020 Drone Market Sector Report, which published today. DJI's share of the drone market dropped to 69%, down from 74% in 2018, marking the first market share decrease for the Chinese drone manufacturer giant since they began collecting data in 2016. Let's hear. So what caused it? It's primarily due to the North American market, where the market share dropped below the average global share of 69% down to 68%. What's even more surprising is a huge drop off in the North American market. In 2018, the average market share for North America was 79%, far outpacing the average global share. But there's more in this, in this article. Obviously, there's been tariffs, and there's a lot of tension between China and the United States and everything. So, again, I'll be dropping a link to Sally's blog or website in the description, so you guys can check that out. But this is definitely an article that you want to check out, and that's something I think is going to be driving a lot of what DJI does in 2020. And as a side note with this, and I think it's interesting to mention this here, there's a reason, not only just DJI went to, smaller drones. There's a reason they did that. Okay. The Mini 2, the Mini 1, now the Mini 2, and, the Air 2, these smaller drones, this compact size. I personally don't see drones getting bigger than the Mavic 2 anymore. I really don't. That's just my opinion. But remember, the old adage, and if you've taken business, or if you've majored in business, if you have any marketing and ideas for knowing how marketing works, you understand some things. And one of the things that you understand is, if I can get X more of the product out, thousands more, then, I'm going to make more money, even though, taking, cost and everything into consideration. And having something as affordable as the Mini and now the Mini 2, that is hopefully going to boost up DJI's market share for them. We'll see. But I think that's something on the horizon for them. And I think that's very interesting. And it was interesting to come across that. Lauren, okay, he's already left. Okay. Thank you for letting me know that, Lauren. And I know you've been in communication with him, and he's just been absolutely positively fantastic, and wish him nothing but the best. He's a fantastic guy. So, as far as that market share is concerned, they're still not hurting though. Okay. But I know they did some things. They rearranged some things strategically. I know probably some, Romeo's left. They probably, have eliminated some positions as well. They've consolidated here in North America, I've heard. So, it's going to be very interesting to see, these trends continue with DJI as far as the smaller is concerned. Now, one of the things that is very interesting is the market segment, let's say from 0 up to where the Mini is. Okay. And you have that gap right there, and that gap there, you have your, and I'm going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, the ups and downs of the Hubsan Xeno 2. All right. There's been a lot more downs than ups with the Hubsan Xeno 2. And you both know, we've talked about it. Marcus had a not so good experience initially with it, whereas Ron had a great experience with the Xeno 2. And I think you guys know that here. and I know some of you have had the Xeno 2, and I think you know what I'm saying with that. It's a frustrating drone. It really is. It has such great potential, but I mean, there are a lot of things that have been created. Excuse me, had a lot of great potential, and where did they end up? Okay, you know, not there. Not quite there, and that's one of the things with the Xeno 2. It never quite lived up to its potential. Had they taken some action to correct that lens flare issue, which is hardware, it's not software. Had they done something like that, that drone could be as popular as the Mini. Okay, it really could. With all the other features that it has, it does a great job. But had they done that could have done that. These software updates have really improved the flight capabilities of it. So we'll see what 2021 brings for them. And they go into their little iterations, and they add a Pro and a Pro Plus, and extra battery life, and tweaks here and there. So we'll see. I'm hopeful that they'll get the message here, because there is a great market gap there between $0 to $500, let's say, or where the Mini lies, that can be filled. And when we talked about the Fimi last week, and it's one of those things. It is a terribly frustrating drone. Either a lot of people have the horizon tilt issue with the Fimi, or like me, they have the signal interference issue with it. And those are things that they need to go back to the drawing board and correct. Excuse me here. I am getting over a nasty case of the flu. So pardon me. I'm feeling better, but it's still going over that here. Okay. That's good to hear, Johnny. Brian, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all with that. Okay. I'm going to talk about the main event here tonight. The DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced was released. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you from the standpoint, if you remember and you go back in my videos, I actually had the DJI Mavic 2 Thermal. I think that's what it was called. I actually had that for a week from Florida Drone Supply to test. And I'll share my thoughts, combining with this. Now we're going to take a look. I'm going to go on to DJI's webpage on this first, because I want to go over this, and I want to show this to you here. And we'll go over the features of it, and I'll I'll share a few thoughts with you guys. Okay. Now you can see right here, and I want to start this off. I'm going to move this, get this out of the way. That is an RTK on top of the drone here. Okay. And you know what RTK does. All right. That's being able to map your positions very accurately. There's a Phantom 4 Pro RTK that does that. Okay. Let's dive into this here. You can see a 6-port 40 by 512 thermal camera, a 48 megapixel visual camera, a 32x digital zoom, centimeter level positioning with RTK, which is interesting, a 10-kilometer full HD transmission, and omnidirectional obstacle sensing. And again, that's in tripod mode with that. They do make that disclaimer there. Okay. Expand your vision with advanced dual cameras. Talk about the resolution here, the zoom, the frame rate, and the temperature measurement accuracy. Now, I can tell you right now, from looking just at this image, it does look more detailed than it did on the original DJI Mavic 2 Thermal. Zoom in to stay safe, 48 megapixel camera, 32x digital zoom, 1/2 CMOS sensor, and 4x lossless zoom. Okay. It shows an example of that here. Dual vision at your service. You can split the screen between the two views there. You can see that. Compact yet powerful. It talks about some of the things it can do here. MSDK, discrete mode, self-heating batteries, password protection. It does have air sense on it, and working temperature minus 10 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. And accessories that shows the RTK module, spotlight, speaker, the beacon. Of course, it works with a smart controller, and there's a Flymore kit with this as well. Applications who this would be good for: firefighting, search and rescue, law enforcement, power inspection, environmental protection. Now, one of the things is, if you are interested in one of these, you have to contact a DJI dealer, okay? You cannot go to the DJI store to buy one of these, okay? They more than likely, they want to know what industry or what company you're with. More than likely, if you're a private individual trying to buy one, I think you'll probably have a difficult time doing that. Lauren, correct me if I'm wrong. But that has been my understanding with buying enterprise level drones, unless you're going to go ahead and buy a used one off of eBay. I believe that's the case. Now, I'm going to go here to this is an interesting comparison chart that Hey Kesselu did on Drone XL between the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced and the Evo 2 Dual. Just talking about weight, distance, speed here, maximum altitude, wind resistance, operating temperature. A lot of these seem to be very, very similar. The sensor resolution 640 by 512. The digital zoom seems a little better in the DJI. Specs initially, when you take a look at some of these, seem to be better with the DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced. One of the things that a lot of people were curious about is the price of this. Now, currently, the Autel Evo 2 Dual is $9,998. Okay, the price for this, it'll be below the Evo 2. Now, Sally French also had an article on this as well too. And when you get a chance, I would suggest that you read this. But one of the things that I can tell you right now about this is, this is not a hobbyist drone. All right, I'm gonna just come right out and say this, because when the Mavic 2 Enterprise came out and the Enterprise Thermal Edition came out, I got all these emails from people that wanted to buy it, and I told them, I said, what I was told by DJI, and I went out and I talked to them on Twitter, and when I talked to several dealers, they said you have to be, either like a first responder, you have to work for, organizations, companies, say like a chemical plant or power inspection or something along those lines. Now, that's not to say that a Part 107 professional pilot couldn't buy one of these, but you would have to show some proof of your work and what you do. I mean, I could be all washed up on this, but this is what I was told back then, and I would expect kind of the same thing. Jay Bird, welcome. It's intended primarily for first responders. Thank you, Lauren. And that's exactly what I thought. Bear this in mind here, okay? This is still, and I want you to wrap your heads around some things here, okay? This is the Mavic 2 Enterprise, and they've tweaked it, okay? Basically. The camera's better. The sensor is better, it looks like. Having the RTK option is incredible. Being able to get things finely tuned with this is an excellent option. It's great, and it's going to be great for first responder organizations. I know Romeo, when he was with DJI, and he talked about using it out whenever there's been wildfires out in California. That has made an incredible difference. There are a lot of great applications with this. Now, when I had the DJI 2 Mavic 2 Enterprise Thermal, I can tell you that the thermal image on there was not very good. Okay, it was not very detailed, and it was difficult I mean, I would do it in you would have to really take a look and see and analyze what kind of what you had in the image. Okay. Like for example, I did it inside the house to try to get an idea of what objects were like. I had, my dog and Valerie were there and trying to get their images and what they look like and everything. And it's really hard. I'm hoping that they improved that this time around. And I think they did. Price wise, I can only guess. Okay. And a wild guess may be 5,000, but again, that's only just a guess. Now, when you get these options, I believe everything's probably going to come with it. Lauren, if you know more, please chime in on that. But I believe, you will get everything that it was listed there under the options. Now, this is not going to be available until first quarter of 2021, which is no surprise. And that really shouldn't be surprised. It's going to have that security as far as the data is concerned on that. That's something that DJI did with the Mavic 2 Enterprise originally as well, too. So, John Olson, good to see you here. Mel, good to see you, too. Marcus is here. Welcome, Marcus. It really is. It really is something I think, for first responders, it's a step up. And it's going to be less expensive than the Autel version. Now, one of the things I can tell you is probably what you're probably going to see is you're probably going to see the price drop on the Autel version. I mean, they did price drops on the Evo 2, both the 6K and the 8K. So I'm expecting them to probably do something similar, similar along those lines. That's my guess. I mean, I could be all wet as far as that's concerned, but that's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen with that. So again, this is geared toward first responders. I'll probably get emails. Hey, Bill, how can I buy one? It's like contact a DJI dealer, and you can talk to them about it. Okay, that's because I was telling people about availability the first time around, and I got all these emails. Bill, I want to get one. Who can I contact? And I said, contact your DJI dealer. Says, will they be able to? I said, you have to talk to them, okay? And you have to tell them what you're going to be using it for. All right. And if you're a professional pilot and you inspect towers, or you inspect utilities, or you inspect gas lines, or whatever you do as a professional drone pilot, and have proof of that, then you could be able to get one. But that's something between you and a dealer as far as that's concerned. So one of the other things that I wanted to spend some time talking about is, and we've touched on it before, and I think you guys, I'm curious, since the Mavic 2 Enterprise has no updated frame design, that means the Mavic 3 is further out than anyone might anticipate. Brad, that's a great question. And I'm sorry. Again, I'm getting over this crap, and it really hit me pretty hard. Brad, I'm not foreseeing the Mavic 3 at least probably late summer, August at the earliest. And I would say, yeah, it's an indication that you're not going to see it till then. And there's a number of reasons, but I think the biggest reason is the, remote ID is the biggest reason why they're pushing it out. And we got two great drones this year. We got two outstanding drones this year. Mavic Air 2, I have, there's only, Mavic Air 2 and the Mini 2. Insanely incredible drones, okay? They do everything you can ask and then some, but I'll give you there's an Achilles heel for both of them for me, okay? With the Mavic Air 2, it's the low light video capability, all right? I love to do sunsets. Well, the Jedi Master of sunsets is Mr. Ron Brown. Go out to his channel. If you want to look at some good sunsets, some ones that will knock your socks off, go to Ron's channel, okay? He has outstanding sunsets there. I don't get them that much here. I wish I did, okay? Our sunsets this year have been nothing to write home about. Usually, it's nice, when I was going to work and traveling to work instead of working from home, there was a couple times Valerie said, you need to get out there and get some video of that sunset. And I did that a couple times, and they've just been insane. But the Mavic Air 2, I think, doesn't have that low light capability that I like, especially at sunset. All right. Now, the Mini 2, there's only one thing again, and I really haven't, and to be fair, I haven't really tested it in a moderate wind yet. We've had some very high winds down here in Florida. Although lately it's been real nice. It's been real moderate as far as winds are concerned. But I've been, dealing with the flu. And really, it was the flu. It wasn't COVID because, no fever, none of the other symptoms. So I didn't even think about getting tested. I had an ear infection along with it. So, I typically get this stuff this time of year anyway. So, but the Mini 2, I want to test it in the wind because the original Mini was horrible in the wind. Let's just call it like it is. It really was bad. Okay. And if you saw DC Rainmaker with his Mini 2, don't take that as a sign to be able to do it. He was lucky, and I mean with a capital L, to get his drone back. He really was. So, that's where that is. Oh, that's good to know, Lauren. Thank you for throwing that in there regarding the new DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise. That's interesting. Thank you for adding that on there. So 2021, that segment there, and I gotta see, I've got to say this, there's still that gap there between, I'll go with a no $0 to $500. Okay. $500 or the Mini 2. Okay. There's still not a drone. I mean, yeah, the Fimi X8 SE 2020, and the Xeno 2, it's kind of a crapshoot. It depends. With those, I'm looking for a manufacturer to kind of fill that void in 2021. Whether it's Fimi, whether they can come up with something, or whether Hubsan can come up with something, because all these other ones, guys, okay, Potensic and all these other ones, they're just knockoffs of other drones. Okay. They're not creating anything from scratch. Somebody can create something from scratch that, is on par, say, with the Fimi or the Xeno 2, that can do things well enough to match, say, with a Mini. Build Metro Drones, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, that I think is going to be a void that's going to be very interesting. And I would really like to see that filled. And I think there's a gap there. Now, DJI's really hit it with the Mavic 2 or the Mini 2. Okay. I think they've hit another home run there. Will we see some smaller drones from, companies like Hubsan or Fimi? We could see something along those lines. I think they both need to go back to the drawing board. Okay. Hubsan does their, we're going to tweak this here. We're going to have a little more battery life on. We're going to tweak the ESCs, or we're going to put different props on it, or, that kind of thing. They need to probably retool this thing, and they probably need to think about what they're going to do, because, there's such a huge segment there, the 0 to the Mini segment, that's really, and to be honest with you, you look out there, okay, and, Quadcopter 101, I give my hats off to him, because, he does a lot of work. And also Marcus too. Marcus is in the chat. I got to give Marcus a lot of credit, because he's tried a lot of drones I don't think a lot of people would even consider. Okay. And to be honest, Marcus will tell you, he'd be the first one to tell you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus, a lot of what you tested was junk. Okay. Really. They have jello. Their video is horrible. The still pictures may be okay. Bad FPV feed, limited range, toilet bowling, that's what you get in that $0 to $500 range. So, I expect to see something in that range that is going to really make a difference. Okay. And if somebody can come along with something, in that range from $0 to $500, say, they're really going to get a real good niche of that market because, while the Mini 2 is fantastic, it is over $500. All right. And I get a lot of inquiries from people, especially this time of year. Bill, I'm looking for a drone for a Christmas gift. I want to spend under usually $400 is what they're telling me. If I'm telling them that, I have a tendency, I'll recommend the Fimi, okay, because it is around that price point. With my exception of the interference with the signal, it's been fairly reliable. I know if I fly it just on my end of the lake, I'll be okay. And it does have some good video. Now, you probably did see my video, my comparison video with the Fimi with the Mini 2. Of course, those are on different days, but it gives you an example of what it's like. The Mini 2 is just, the video from it is just incredible. It's outstanding. Just hope the Mini 2's under the trees that new people flying at least learn the rules. You're right, Johnny. Lower price drones bring a lot of newbies to the hobby. You're right, Johnny. It does bring a lot of new people into the hobby. And I think, for us who have been here for a while and know that, that's why it's so important when you go out to the groups, okay, that you don't blow off. And one of the things that really ticks me off about people, and I've got some great admins. I know Moran and Marcus are, admins on several of my groups, and I have several other really good ones here too. Tom Ivins is one. People that are condescending to other people when they're new drone flyers, okay? That bothers me a great deal, okay? Because I'll tell you what, what really helped me was original Mavic Pro, all right? I got a lot figured out, but I couldn't put the darn gimbal cover back on. You know what somebody did in one of those groups? They filmed a short 5 or 6 second video on how to put that gimbal cover back on. Okay, that spoke volumes to me. And I said, you know what? I start a group out there. I want to make sure the groups are like that. There's not be condescending to people. And, even though that question's been asked a million times about something, they're a new flyer. Okay. And if you want to get them started on the right foot, answer their question in a polite manner. Okay. I've seen so many smart comments out there about that. And I've booted people out of my groups for that kind of stuff. Okay. I don't stand that. And I don't want anybody getting bullied in the groups at all for that. So, David, the Mini 2 will come down in price once the Mavic Mini is discontinued. Like the Spark came down in price, but not until the summer. That's probably a great point. I would look for more price drops with the Mini. I've had people ask me, is the Mini 2 going to be on sale for Christmas? I have to laugh. I have to laugh. I said, probably the Mini will be on sale. The original DJI Mavic Mini 2 will not be on sale. Okay. Because it's selling well. It's one of those products that sell well. One of the things that surprised me, and we're going to kind of wrap things up here because there's just, there's just not, the volume of things to talk about here. But one of the things that's really surprised me right now is I thought DJI was going to come out with a few other things here before Christmas, which they're not doing here. Okay. I really thought that, that we would see that the DJI Action 2 camera come out. That's not here. I really thought, there's been so many pictures about the FPV system and everything, and still kind of in a holding pattern on that. It needed to have come out, I think, all this in November, around before Black Friday, kind of a thing. That's just my thought here. One of the other things that I want to make sure everybody knows about is, Christmas is still a week away, but DJI's holiday sale is going on, and I want to make sure that people know everything that's out there. Okay. Now it's from December 13th. It just started to January 1st. There's a Mavic Air 2 gift combo and it comes with a DJI scarf, people, and it's in a red box for Christmas. How nice is that? Okay. The Mavic Mini, it's $359. That's a great deal on that drone. If it's an under $400 drone, I would recommend that definitely. Mavic Air 2, scroll to the bottom page, subscribe to DJI to enjoy a 5% discount on the Mavic Air 2, which is interesting. All right, the Mini 2, $449. The Mavic 2 Pro, $60 off. The Osmo Action is $170 off. If you were even thinking about it, if you've never had an action camera before, I wouldn't hesitate. Get this camera. It is fantastic. I've done some blogging with it. I film a lot of my takeoffs and landings with this. It is a very versatile camera. It's very easy to set up. Great accessories for it. Highly recommended. That kind of price, $199. You cannot go wrong with this camera. Trust me on that. The Pocket 2 is $349. It's from what everybody's told me, it's a lot like the Pocket 1. So just kind of let you know that. Earn 5% in DJI credit with any purchase. Exclusive offer for DJI Select members. And I think you guys know about DJI Select. The Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, it is on sale. I believe that's looks like $80 off on that. So that's very interesting. And the original Osmo Pocket is $120 off. It's $249. So if that's something you'd be interested in, that would be something that you might want to look at. The Mobile 3 is $99 instead of $119. That's on sale. Share DJI products with friends and family. And then $60 off for the Ronin C, which is interesting. The Telo Boost Combo is $135. RoboMaster S1 is $449. That's on sale. It's $100 off. DJI talks about some of their other programs and so forth down there. So I kind of want to let everybody see that and be aware of that. If you still are looking for some last minute gift ideas for people that might fit in your list there. So this is going to be the last actual total real live show of the year. I'm going to take the next couple of weeks off. I was going to say spend time with family and friends, but it's time. My family is Valerie and my wonderful pup. That's been my family, and I got to say this, and I will say this. You really learn a lot about people when you spend a lot of time with them. Now, Valerie and I are coming up on our 10th wedding anniversary in February, and I'm just incredibly excited about that. Ron Braun is here. Ron, it's good to see you, my friend. With all that being said, it really made me appreciate my wife even more. I'm very thankful for her. I'm very thankful for my pup too. She's 13, 14 years old, and she's still doing great. She really is. Arthritis, but she sees a critter out in the yard and she barks and she runs out there, and she's still got a lot of spring in her step. So it's good to see that. And but I really appreciate both of them, and they both mean a lot to me. I've been in touch a lot with my daughter up in Ohio, and she sends a lot of video of my granddaughter, which really kind of warms my heart. We're very hopeful, when COVID-19 calms down, to get up to Ohio. Both Valerie and I are just itching to get up there. I can't say enough about my son-in-law. He takes exceptional care of my daughter, and my granddaughter. He is fantastic. My favorite son-in-law. Of course, he will only ever be my only son-in-law. Okay. But no, he's a great guy. I can't thank him enough for how the exceptional care he takes of my daughter and my granddaughter. And he's number one in my book. He does a great job. And I feel for my sons too. It's not been a picnic for them. They've both been in in positions where they have to face the public, and they do so every day. And my hat's off to them, and so very thankful the gods watched over them as far as COVID-19 is concerned. That's for sure. So, that's where it's at. That's where we're winding up with. I might do like some kind of a live stream between now and the end of the year. But for Rotor Talk Live, you're going to see a couple of replays, and they're great replays. And I'm going to set them as premieres, so there'll be a chat available so you guys can chat. And please do watch them. They're great shows. I think you'll learn a lot. What we got coming up for 2021, I'm going to have Brendan Schulman on as soon as we get some idea with remote ID and what's going to happen with that. Haven't had Rick Smith on in ages. Definitely want to get him back on the show. He's always fantastic, always great to talk to. Probably like to get Billy and Ken on the show. I've never had both of them on before. I think that would be a great show. But they might fight with each other, so I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2021. Just some piece of advice, and not even call it advice, just well wishes. I wish well for all my drone family out there, all of you. Please stay safe. COVID-19 is real, believe it or not. But there's good news with vaccines coming. I know several people who have gotten it, and on the younger side, and it's been like a bad cold, walking pneumonia for them. Some over-the-counter medications have seemed to have done well. One of the relatives of my ex's family, we found out she had it, and she's recovering and doing well, and it's good to hear that. So I hope all of you, and I mean that, have a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Merry Christmas, and a blessed New Year. I always look at it this way. When my two eyes open in the morning, it's a gift. God's given me another day to live on this earth. I'm very thankful for what he's blessed me with. I hope all of you are thankful for what God has blessed you with. And I just want to say one thing, and this is not political. I want to preface that. For those of us that live here in the United States, we live in the greatest country in this earth, bar none. There's more opportunity for us here than anywhere else on this earth. I'm very thankful for those that have paid the ultimate price for us and defending our freedom. I'm very thankful for my dad, for him fighting as far, in World War II and as part of the greatest generation. Very thankful for them. See a veteran, I always thank them for their service all the time. And, a lot of people say this: freedom is not free. It was paid for with a very high price. And, with a lot of turmoil still going on in the country right now, pray that it gets resolved. There's something to be said about truth and integrity. And, I'm just going to leave it at that. Many of you know that I'm a Christian. Okay. And, there's some things for me. Integrity matters. And that's something that I think we all need to pay heed to, at this time of year, with everything going on. Integrity does matter. My word is my bond, and I try to bring you things, I don't go out there and lie intentionally to you guys. I have some integrity. My wife has great integrity as well. And I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. All that being said, hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy the next two shows, okay, that are going to be on. They're going to be replays. Like I said, I'm going to set them as premieres so you guys can chat with each other. I may do a quick live stream before the end of the year. I don't know. But I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, a very blessed and safe and healthy New Year's. Enjoy time with the family that you can enjoy it with. We got a lot to look forward to in 2021. For one thing, it won't be 2020. That's what I'll tell everybody. Okay. Thank you guys so much for a great year. This is really kind of wrapping up season 3 here on Rotor Talk Live. You guys are the best. Seriously, every one of you out there. Brad Hendo, Stephen Ewing, Ron Braun is here tonight. Fly Zone Drone. Mid Valley Drones, Jay Bird, Dennis Maxey, Ray Kelly's here, Greg Pittman, Mel's here, Drone Seekers International. Thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate that. Ray Kelly, Marcus is here tonight. Let's see who else. Just going through the list here. ABQ Quadcopter and Lakeview Christmas Lights. Dennis Baker, got a lot here tonight, and really want to thank you guys, all you guys. Hope you all have a very enjoyable Christmas. Hope Santa puts that drone gift under your tree for you, or that new drone that you've been wanting, or whatever you have been wanting, and that your nices outnumber your naughties. So as always, guys, stay safe, and remember, it's a great day to fly.